Well, what to expect from for the railway sector, right? Few years, actually many years ago now, this should be the railway budget. Now, of course, you hear in the union budget allocations for railways and things like that. Yesterday, rail stocks were all kind of looking very excited. I'm not sure if that was to do with expectations ahead of the budget. So let's actually put it to some experts. Harshit Kapadia, analyst and vice president at Elara Capital, is with us, and so is Mahesh Kumar Gupta, former member engineering of the Railway Board. Gentlemen, good morning. Great to have both of you here. Thank you for your time. Harshit, let me start with you. Expectations high, low, nothing. What's the expectation set really for railways this time?
Morning. Expectations are always high, and especially if the government is working on a lot of new age rolling stock and a lot of network infrastructure, including the lot of things happening on the signaling side, including Kavach. We expect the budget to see a good increase in the FY26.
Missed that number, Harshit. What is the expected spend you're expecting to increase by in the coming year? What was it for the past year? And what is the growth you're expecting on that base?
Sure. So for the previous, that is FY25, the growth was close to around 4%. We expect it to be somewhere between 5 to 10% at least, with the way the spending are going to see an increase.
Okay, all right. And the absolute number, you're expecting around 5% or thereabouts in terms of an increase. What would the absolute number look like? So we have a reference point.
Yeah, so 2.65 lakh crore, we look somewhere close to around 2.72 lakh crore.
Okay. All right, so we've got that number out of the way. Thanks, Harshit, for that. We'll come back to you. Mr. Gupta as well joins us. Hi, Mr. Gupta. Good morning, and thanks a lot for joining us here on CNBC TV 18.
Good morning.
Well, tell us, what are your key expectations? Because, from a stock market perspective, the market watchers believe there's a big runway for railways. There's a lot of focus out there. What would be the top 2-3 points that you'll be looking forward to in this budget?
When you say expectation, railway has got three kind of customer. Normal user who looks for seat availability. Another is the high-end customer who looks for the comfort and easy travel, and who has got an option in case he doesn't get the railway seat. He can very well travel by the air if there is a connectivity. And third is the railway main bread and butter, I would say, that is a freight. People want delivery of their goods in time without damage. So there are three kind of customer. And to balance all three is a slightly difficult task. But for all the three customers, the common feature is safety, security, and punctuality in that order. This is what I would say. You want your goods to be transported safely and securely, and the passengers also. First, he wants to go safely, and then securely, and then, of course, punctuality. These three are the common parameters since many years.
Mr. Gupta, from a...
And then yeah.
Sorry. What will be the focus out of these three areas, and where will more? We're basically talking about increase in spending in the budget, and on which area you think will the focus be?
Yeah. Now, if you see the last year capex also, about 40% was on the Kavach, right? When we say Kavach, all safety related, whether you put the replacement of old track, replacement of rolling stock, that is going to remain. And I think in the every budget for next 5 to 10 years, about 40 to 50% allocation is going to be on that. And there, as far as the Kavach, there are some issues of the capacity constraint. But on the other side, like wagon supply and other things, as of now, I don't see any capacity constraint from the trade side. So these are going to remain for next 4 to 5 years. That is my assessment. 40 to 50% budget on the safety-related item.
Okay, all right. Harshit, coming back to you, we the last couple of days, as we normally see ahead of the budget, these railway stocks get very, very excited. Which is your top buy from this particular sector, and if you could give us some rationale.
Sure. So what I like is a company called as Rights Limited. They are basically a consultancy company into infrastructure, and they also have a business on exports of rolling stock. So we see this too as a major growth driver for rides going forward. And with network expansion being planned, as Sir also rightly mentioned, companies like Rides who do the EPC related work, turnkey construction, that should also see an increase. So overall, we are very positive on Rides. Another name which I can mention is BEML. The rail and metro portfolio of BEML is going to see a multifold growth. They already bagged 2 metro orders, and on the railway side, they are pitching for more rolling stock related items. They also got an order to make a first prototype for a bullet train for a Mumbai Ahmedabad project. So that is also under the anvil. They are also working on the first prototype launch for a Vande Bharat sleeper. So that should be done somewhere in the mid of this calendar year. So much more things are going to come from BML. Another on the private side, what we like is Siemens, because Siemens Mobility is going to diversify itself from being a loco to a metro player. So that could be another name that one can look at. And a pure rail play could be Titagarh Rail as well.
Right. By the way, Harshit, you heard Mr. Gupta talking about the focus on safety, right? Kavach is a big focus area. Do you have stocks under coverage there? And generally, what is the context for these companies?
So presently, there are only 3 companies who have got approval to manufacture equipments for Kavach, but additional names are also looking to be approved. The 3 approved names are Connex Microsystems, HBL Power, and Medha Servo Drives. So there are 3 approved ones. The additional names which looking for approval is Gigitronics. It is acquired by CG Power, so that is one way. Siemens is also looking at it, and there is another company called as Kyosan. It's a Japanese company, unlisted. And a smaller names who can play a role in Kavach are one IPO which is coming up, which is Quadrant Future Tech. There is a small SME company called as Concord Control System. So these are some names that one can look at related to Kavach. On EPC side, you would have Railtel and Case International who would be doing EPC for this Kavach system. That's how one can play.
Is it a big? What's the size of the? What could be the size of the opportunity? I mean, and broken down into on an annual basis.
Sure. So the overall size of the opportunity is something close from 45,000 to 50,000 crores. Next year, that is in FY26, we are sensing close to around 10,000 loco orders and close to around 15,000 route kilometers of the orders are going to be placed in FY26. So quite a bulk of the opportunity would be coming out very soon. And then subsequently, as Sir said, Kavach is a continuing process. So more track lines, stations would be covered as we go forward into the future years.
So just very quickly, 20 seconds, and we'll take a final word with Mr. Gupta. Harshit, so apart from Kavach and safety systems, I mean, if I were to ask you, the spends this year, which you said will go up by 5%, are you expecting the bulk of that to go in, safety systems, which would be Kavach? Would it be more on rolling stock? Where do you expect the bulk of the spends to be this year?
Station upgradation, what we are calling station redevelopment or upgrading the passenger facilities at the station. That should be one of the focus area of the railways. And some of the important thing which may come up even the next year, the New Delhi railway station, that is one landmark project which is being done by RLD authority under Ministry of Railway. That we should see something on the ground. It will take time because it's a brownfield project. Total execution may take 3 to 4 years. But something should start at New Delhi. I'm quite optimistic about that.
Okay. Harshit, same question to you very, very quickly. You mentioned RITES as one of your key picks. Where else are you expecting the orders to come in, the spends to take place, and anything else beyond RITES that you'll back this year for railways?
So BML is another name. Area which I'll be focused on is rolling stock and Kavach. Those are the 2 segments that we are extremely positive about. As new age trains are going to be launched, and more tenders are likely to come following, whether it is Vande Bharat, Vande Metro, whether it is Amrit Bharat. So all things are going to be there in FY26.
Okay, all right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Gives us an interesting perspective on what to expect for railway companies this year as the budget comes through. Thank you very much for joining in.